no go fishing, in a la fish, I'm a draconico. Demonstration we go.
Together, let's celebrate our Independence Day. Today, Fidelity Bank recognizes the hard work of all the relentless leaders who fought tirelessly to lead Ghana to independence. May we all continue to contribute to nation building. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. NPR also brought to you by Quartz. Your car deserves the best street. The Quartz 9000 Future 0W20 is specially conditioned and developed for the latest generation engine. Delivers excellent engine protection and cleanliness and increases your oil change interval. Join the Total Quartz Nation movement now. Total Quartz, keep your engine younger for longer. So Nathan Obodai-Kwao is joining me with a newspaper review on a holiday. Good morning, Nate.
Hello, good morning.
What's up?
Ah, well, we're back at it.
Doing the things we do best. Only how many newspapers?
3.
3 serious newspapers.
Yes.
They have done well. Say good morning to them. Graphic Times and
Graphic, Ghanaian Times, and this one's the Catholic.
The Catholic Standard. Okay, I thought I saw other papers this morning.
Well,
maybe I saw wrong. We have quite a number of websites also with big stories. Let's start with the Graphic then.
Well, the Daily Graphic says Ghana ingests Israeli stone. National Cathedral construction begins.
Okay.
Interesting. Says today it's Independence Day. Akoto Ampah activates RTI law 6 information on COVID-19 and bounty on Ajalis killers hits 60,000 cedis. The Ghanaian Times says National Cathedral construction takes off. President cuts sword for work to begin. Parliament to ban phones in chamber. Obretima accident victims identified, and Ghana marks 63rd Independence Day anniversary today. And there's a small bit that says ECG slaps 49,000 cedi surcharge on IT company for stealing power.
Using power without paying for it. That's the big problem. The Catholic Standard.
The Catholic Standard says stand up against vigilantes in Peace Council Executive Secretary and no handshakes. Bishops direct. So
you just bow to each other or you acknowledge?
Probably. I
hear there's also a foot shake now. You can just use your foot to hit somebody.
Well, yeah, and it says 1 Ghana cedi for lepers inadequate. That's Zenato.
Oh, let me give you a few headlines. CityNewsroom.com. Radio Gold staff laments struggles after station's closure. It's been 10 months since they went off. Also, actual construction of cathedral to begin April, according to Secretariat. Meanwhile, Anado says building a cathedral will be an act of thanksgiving to God. Other stories, MPs to be banned from bringing phones to Parliament. And Akoto Ampah writes to Health Minister and Ghana Health Service. He requests details of coronavirus preparedness. If you go to citybusinessnews.com, AFDB satisfied with Ghana's macroeconomic stability, set to release $600 million cocoa loan. Also, Bank of Ghana inaugurates 8-member Payment Systems Advisory Committee. And African governments urge to remove barriers hampering the cashless agenda. But Nathan, globally, it's all about Corona. Before we do Corona, if you go to GNA, they are saying Chief Justice declares ADR week. Foot and mouth disease kills calf, affects 2,000 cattle in South Tone. Other stories, EC did not lie about obsolete biometric verification registration kit. And also in health, Ghana is on high alert with maximum protection against coronavirus. This is Ghana News Agency's report. Now, if you go to Nigeria, the Channels TV leads with 3 suspected coronavirus patients undergo tests in Lagos. So that's the big story from Nigeria. Globally, everybody is talking coronavirus. So BBC says White House acknowledges coronavirus test shortage. If America is shorting, Japan and South Korea in virus quarantine row. Okay, and that's the BBC. If you go to CNN, they also leading. World's second most populous country reports spike in cases. This is India. Wow, this is very serious. And then other parts of Europe, Rome cancels marathon over coronavirus fears. Iran to temporarily free 54,000 prisoners as corona virus spreads. You know, it's amazing. And then whilst all this is going on, Brazil lashed by heavy rains, leaving at least 32 dead. And then if you go to the Washington Post, there are also coronavirus. Thousands on cruise ship await test results as virus spreads around the US. Also, coronavirus fears reverberate as U.S. officials widen states of emergency. And even on Bloomberg, cases globally near 100,000. U.S. outbreak widens. Virus update. Nathan, let's start with our Independence and Cathedral. Then I'll tell you about coronavirus everywhere else.
All right, so let's start off with I don't know which one to go first. Let's start with the cathedral.
Yes.
Okay, so Ghana ingests Israeli stone. National cathedral construction begins. Story put together by Donald Ato Dapatem. Says President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has cut the sword for the construction of the National Cathedral in Accra. He signaled the construction of the cathedral by fixing a foundation stone. The Israeli ambassador to Ghana, Mrs. Shani Cooper Zubid, handed over the about 6-inch square stone flown from Israel, which the president placed in the ground as the foundation stone for the yet to be constructed 3-meter tall altar. So the National Cathedral is a proposed interdenominational cathedral with a sitting capacity of 5,000, as well as chapels and a baptistry, and it will also house a music school, an art gallery, and a museum dedicated to the Bible.
How did the Times cover this story? Because Graphic was leading with the stone angle. I'm sure the Times just gave you the raw details.
Yes, so if you go to page 11 of the
Ghanaian
Times, it says National Cathedral construction takes off.
Okay.
President cuts sword for work to begin. Story by Lawrence Markwe. And the president has reiterated that the monumental edifice of a national cathedral is meant to provide or create, a platform to unify the Christian community of diverse denominations for national development and social cohesion.
Okay.
He said this was imperative in view of the fact that the Christian community formed about 70% of Ghana's population, and the act of showing gratitude to God through the construction of a cathedral could unleash his abundant blessings on the nation.
Let me give you two more angles. Construction of the cathedral will actually begin in the first week of April 2020 following a groundbreaking ceremony held yesterday. According to the Secretariat, the Malian embassy, the passport office will be demolished within the period to pave way for the construction to begin. CEO of the Secretariat, Dr. Polopoku Mensah, said a plan will be announced by the end of the month detailing strategies to raise funds for the construction. Second story, Independence Day.
Well, yes, today is the 6th of March.
We are 63 years old.
Today is Ghana's birthday. So Mary Mensah and Juliet Safo have put together a story which reads, a combined team of policemen, soldiers, supported by officials of the BNI and national security operatives, has been deployed. So a combined team has been deployed to Kumasi to provide security and ensure the safety of persons and property during the commemoration of Ghana's 63rd independence anniversary in the Garden City.
Okay.
The security men will be stationed at vantage points to conduct searches and assist guests who have been invited to the parade ground. So the story branches off in several angles, talks about road closures. That's those things are happening in Kumasi. There are colored cards, heightened security, and a few other
issues. Now,
angles.
the Times on page 12 also talks about Ghana marking its independence anniversary and also speaks about our special guest. Interestingly, our special guest of honor is the president of Trinidad and Tobago. And this week we learned that if you go to that island, there
are more people of Ghanaian descent on Tobago.
Yes, I learned that only this week, and they have quite a strong presence and a relationship with Ghana as well. And so that event is in Kumasi today.
Yes, something else in Kumasi.
Tell me
is
about
the
it.
Premium Passport Application Center.
Is it?
Which has been opened.
Okay.
Now, a private partnership between VFS Global and the government of Ghana, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they've put together a center which is in fulfillment of government's determination to extend passport services to the doorsteps of Ghanaians in all parts of the country. About 400 applications for passports are submitted to the Kumasi Passport Office daily, and the inauguration of the PAC is expected to lessen the burden and stress that residents had to endure to acquire passports.
Now, a few other stories. MPs to be banned from bringing phones to Parliament. This is on citinewsroom.com. Parliament is set to begin to ban legislators from bringing mobile phones to the House during proceedings. Now, according to the Majority Leader, the use of phones during proceedings is fast becoming a huge distraction to the business of the House. Now, he actually said that they saw on television that one of the news stations showed whilst debate was going on, some people were busy on their phone. Some were chatting, some were calling. Just that their mind is not even on what is happening on the floor. So we propose that in the next parliament, once we accept the review standards, no member of parliament will be allowed to bring a cell phone to the house. We need to demonstrate seriousness. When the president of the house is talking, members will be fidgeting with their phones. When the minister for finance comes here, members will be fidgeting with their phones. When ministers are providing answers in the house, members will be fidgeting with their phones. It does not tell a good story about us. Now, Oseche Mensabos, who is the majority leader and minister of parliamentary affairs, bemoaned. Now, aside concerns over use of phones by MPs, Speaker of Parliament Michael Quay has on several occasions complained about MPs seeming apathy to the work of Parliament as they continue to absent themselves from sittings. So look at how they are struggling to enter Parliament. Some say that we shouldn't let them be contested, but when they go there, Speaker says they are not working. And Minister of State who doubles as MP it's the ministers of state who double as MPs were the worst culprits of absenteeism without permission during the first and second sittings of the 7th Parliament 2017. So this is the story that's of concern for Parliament.
Well, let's go to page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, and there are some interesting stories. So, for example, it says ECG slaps 49,000 cedi surcharge on IT company for stealing power.
Okay.
So the Accra West Region branch of the ECG has disconnected Pearl Afrique, an IT company at North Carnation in Accra, for stealing power. The illegal act of the IT company was exposed after an ECG team visited the premises of Pearl Afrique on Monday upon a tip-off to discover that connections to several gadgets, including 6 air conditioners, a fridge, a tabletop computer, microwave, and 3 laptops, were not read by the meter.
So they've siphoned the power tools on site.
The company has since been surcharged with an amount of 49,000 cedis for the period of unpaid power and the illegal connection. Now, this was revealed to the Ghanaian Times after the general manager, revenue protection at the project office of the ECG, Michael Chum Berima Boedu, he revealed this to the Ghanaian Times. Staying on the Ghanaian Times, staying with the Ghanaian Times. A magistrate court yesterday fined 2 men 720 cedis each for aiding, abetting, impersonation, and contracting 2 students to write the English language paper 2 on their behalf during this year's basic education.
They start impersonate. That's serious. How did it happen?
Well, the story reads the prosecuting inspector Beatrice I told the court presided over by Mr. Justice Makali Jr. That the complainant in the case, Samuel Agiti, 61, is a retired teacher and a supervisor of the 2020 BEC for private candidates. She said about 3 months ago, Justice Duho and Jakpa Kelly Vincent registered to write the BEC as private candidates. The exam took place at the WAEC Hall, Tema Community 5. Now, these 2 gentlemen, Justice Duho and Jack Bakedi, contacted Elvis Baku and Duho Christian to come and write the exam on their behalf. Now, they were busted when their fingers were placed on the biometric machine and they showed somebody else's ID.
I mean that, they are too grown. Hey, so they write BC for people.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Thank God for biometric IDs.
So ECG slaps 49,000. 2 people fined 1,440.
Yes.
The bounty on the South Sogakope Assemblyman's killers has also gone up.
Yes, so the bounty on the head of the killers of Ajali in his residence last Sunday has reached 60,000 cedis. This follows the contribution of 15,000 cedis made by the Volta caucus of members of parliament, some individuals, including former President Rawlings, who announced a bounty of 25,000 cedis, and a vice chairman of the NDC in Southton, Bright Ahu, who offered 10,000 cedis. Earlier, the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yaldecha, had announced a 10,000 cedi bounty on the head of the criminals. Let's
move to other stories. Before I get to coronavirus, Radio Gold staff lament struggles after station closure. A really sad story I heard on CNR yesterday, and this is the lead story on citynewsroom.com. Now, Radio Gold is 24 years old. This was yesterday. The station staff are lamenting difficulties they are going through following the closure of the station by the NCA. Now, they engaged the press yesterday to commemorate their 24th anniversary and said some of them had to resort to begging to survive because they're not on air normally. They're not running as a proper business, and therefore a lot of the people working there are volunteers. It's now an online radio station. One of the remaining workers, Nancy Amelewusi Obimpe, told Citi News some of her colleagues who had tried to seek jobs elsewhere had not been successful. The station now carries most of its programs on the internet via online radio, relies largely on contributions from the few staff who still serve there to stay in operation. And Obimpe also said they were being rejected by potential employers because of their past association with Radio Gold, a known pro-NDC media organization. So this is really terrible to think that after all that conversation, we still can't get Radio Gold back on air. For whatever reason, they've been taken off air. It's not a good sign for our democracy at all.
Not at all.
Now, let's go to Akoto-Ampah. What is he saying?
Go to page 18. Private legal practitioner, Mr. Anthony. Oh, he's Anthony. Wow. Mr. Anthony Akoto-Ampah.
Shishi, that's his nickname.
Has activated the Right to Information Act by requesting the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service to provide him with answers on the coronavirus COVID-19. Providing background to his request in a letter dated March 5, 2020, Mr. Ampah said while the health and other relevant authorities in the country with far more robust healthcare systems provided daily info to their citizens on the virus, imposing bans on air travel to and from specified countries where the virus had broken out, with others banning large gatherings and cancelling events likely to involve large crowds. In Ghana, there does not appear to be the same degree of urgency in our response to the threat the disease poses to our health and economy.
So he wants information on our preparedness at the ports, on the quarantine centers, on our communication. And I think this is useful because even though, for example, the minister appeared in parliament and spoke and things like this, I feel the public is still very poorly informed. Now, if you go to GNA, Ghana News Agency, they have a story on this: Ghana on high alert with maximum protection against coronavirus. So this is coming in from Christopher Ako. Health Minister Kwekwa Jamamenu has assured Ghanaians that government is doing everything possible to prevent and protect citizens against the outbreak and spread of the novel coronavirus disease in the country. The minister's assurance comes in the wake of concerns being raised in other West African countries of an Italian man who has been confirmed in Nigeria, a sister West African nation, as the country's first coronavirus case since arriving from Milan. Now, according to Mr. Jemamenu, the ministry is collaborating with its development partners to monitor the situation and further strengthen the systems to prevent the introduction of the outbreak in Ghana and ensure early detection and containment if should it occur. Mr. Jemamenu gave the assurance when he appeared before Parliament to update the House on the country's preparedness. Now, the Catholic Standard is talking about a new handshake, still in relation to this.
They are saying no handshake.
No handshake at all.
The Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference has issued a directive to the clergy and lay faithful to avoid handshakes and embracing each other during the sign of peace at the Eucharistic celebrations. The directive is aimed at preventing a potential spread of the deadly 2019 novel coronavirus infection. In a statement issued on March 3, 2020, signed by Most Reverend Philip Name, president of the conference, the bishops encouraged the faithful to receive Holy Communion in the hand instead of on the tongue during Mass.
You know, when they give the sign of peace, you go around and shake hands and things. So basically, they would use a different approach. Now, let's go to Nigeria briefly, because now there are 3 suspected cases, tests being done. This is what Channel TV is talking about. 3 persons. The Lagos State Commissioner of Health has disclosed that 3 persons suspected to be infected with the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, have been identified and are being tested in a Lagos isolation center. One of those involved is a Nigerian. So that should break the myth that some people of a certain color don't get it. One of those, of course, he hasn't been tested positive. One of those involved is a Nigerian who returned from France 3 days ago. A second entered the country from the UK, and a third from China. The results are yet to be out. Now, he tweeted this himself, Professor Akin Abayomi. He tweeted, breaking news, hashtag COVID-19 Lagos. So this is a serious man. We have 3 suspected cases under isolation in a containment facility in Yaba. 1 from France, 1 from England, 1 from China. The samples have been taken, results are expected. Then he hashtags for a greater Lagos. Then he copies a couple of people who are all related to the situation. So this is the Lagos State Commissioner for Health. So like Nigeria is a federal republic. Now let me give you a global picture. It's very grim, guys. So for example, CNN is leading with this. It says India is reeling. India identifies 29 coronavirus cases as global infection tops 95,000. And the story is really essentially saying that the world's second largest country, India, is now facing an increase in cases of coronavirus. A spike in novel coronavirus in India has prompted concerns that the world's second most populous country could face a serious outbreak of the virus, which to date has infected more than 95,000 people and killed 3,300 worldwide. 29 cases have been confirmed inside the country, including 3 who have recovered. Many of the cases are linked to a group of travelers from Italy, the hardest hit country in Europe. Health Minister Harsh Vardhan said authorities in the country have advised caution but have not raised the alarm. Vardhan told lawmakers in parliament. Now, that's India. Now, the thing about India is that even though it's the second largest country in the world, China's way of dealing with things is not the same as India. So, as Godfrey was saying, China can really lock down a whole city. I think India doesn't have the same level of austerity. So that's the first concern. Now, look at US. White House concedes that there's a lack of enough test kits. This is BBC's lead story. The White House has acknowledged that nation does not have enough coronavirus test kits as cases of the disease ticked upwards on both the US coasts. That's east and west. Vice President Mike Pence said the Trump administration would not be able to meet its objective of delivering 1 million testing kits this week. Congress, meanwhile, moved with unusual speed to approve a bumper emergency aid package to combat the outbreak. Globally, authorities have confirmed 92,000 cases of the virus, and they are talking about the spreading. Then, where else are we talking in terms of coronavirus?
I mean, if you go to South Africa, for example, there's a case there.
Yes.
They have detected their first case, and President Cyril Ramaphosa has warned that COVID-19 will turn into a national crisis and its impact will be huge. Now, the patient is a 38-year-old man who visited Italy with his wife. Now, this brings to 27 the number of coronavirus cases reported in Africa. Algeria is the worst affected with 17 cases, 16 of them in the same family.
Italy is the real epicenter in Europe. Now, if you go to Bloomberg, they have a global case update. Cases near 100,000. US outbreak widens, and they're basically saying that the number of coronavirus cases globally has approached 100,000 as the outbreak in the US gathered pace, and China and South Korea continue to report new infections and deaths. China, where the pathogen originated, reported 143 more cases for Thursday and 30 additional deaths, down from the highs reported in February. The total number of confirmed cases in the country rose to 80,552. South Korea confirmed 518 new infections for a total of 6,284, and said the death toll rose to 42. Most of the infections are still in the southern city of Daegu. And then, if you go onto the global virus tracker, in Africa, there's South Africa, Nigeria, Senegal, Algeria, there's Egypt, and there's Morocco. The rest of us don't have the virus yet. In South America, there's Brazil, there's Argentina, and there's Chile. All right, Nathan, I'm sure there's more on the show later.
Yes.
Thank you for being on.
Yes.
Coming up next is the holiday edition of the Citi Business News. It's Independence Day, guys. Let's enjoy.